Welcome back, everybody, to another lesson. Today we are going to be discussing estimating and rounding numbers. What do I mean by that? Oh, let's say I have the number 53. I have the number 53 there. I'm being asked to round to the nearest 10. Round to the nearest 10. Well, how would I do that? If it's being rounded to the nearest 10, I need to go to the tens place. I start with the tens place and I look at the digit in the ones place. I see the digit in the ones place is a 3. So what I need to do with that, since it's 4 or less, if your digit in the next place over is 4 or less, you're going to round down. If it's 5 or higher, you're going to round up. So that would be approximately equal. That's what that symbol means, is approximately equal to 50. 53 rounds to 50 if you're going to the nearest 10. Okay, let's do another one. How about 178? Round to the nearest 10. So we locate the tens place, which would be a 7. That's in the tens place. Then we see the 8's in the ones place. We're going to focus on that digit in the ones place, immediately to the right of the tens place, and it's 5 or greater, so that would be approximately equal to 180. So rounding is the process. The estimate is your result. That's the estimate. That's the name of your results, the estimate. Let's round to the nearest 10 one more time. Oh, here's a good one. Let's do our current year, 2024. We want to round that to the nearest 10. So locate your tens digit, which will be the rightmost 2. And then you hone in on the digit immediately to the right of the digit that you seek. That's going to be a 4. Well, it looks like rounding to the nearest 10 would put us at the year 2020. And I know I could speak for just about all of us. We don't want to go back to 2020. That was not a good year. That was not a good year for anybody. Well, how about 2025? Would that change the result? As a matter of fact, it would, because once you have 5 or higher in the next place over from what you're seeking the nearest tens, so you got to focus on the next digit immediately to the right, which is a 5 or higher. It actually would round to 2030. And here's to hoping that 2030 does us better than 2020. All right. So that's rounding to the nearest 10. How about we round to the nearest 100? Round to the nearest 100. And why don't we do... We'll do 105. So if you want to round to the nearest 100, you locate your digit in the hundreds place, which is a 1. Focus on the digit immediately to the right of that, which will be 0. We don't care what 5 is. We don't care about the ones place if we're rounding to the nearest 100. We only care about the digit that's in the hundreds place, which is 1, and then the digit immediately to the right of that, which is 0. Rounding to the nearest 100 would give you approximately 100. Okay. How about the year again? We'll do our current year, 2024. So first locate, since we're rounding to the nearest hundred, locate your hundredths place digit, which happens to be 0. What is your digit immediately to the right of that? It's a 2. We don't care about that 4. Remember, what's in the ones place is irrelevant if we're rounding to the hundreds. So, hundreds place 0, 2 is in your tens place. Round to the nearest hundred, that's going to give you approximately 2,000. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time. I'd make different decisions, that's for sure. I'm sure a lot of you would too. Some of you maybe not. Okay. We'll do... We've been rounding down. Let's see. How about... For some reason, I love to use 178. I'm sure you've noticed that. So we round to the nearest hundred with this. We have the hundreds place, which is 1. In the immediate place to the right of that is a 7. Well, remember, we don't care about that 8. We only care about the hundreds and the tens place. Rounding to the nearest hundred, since it's 5 or higher, will take you up to the next 100, which will be approximately equal to 200. How about if I have it right on the dot here? 250. We want to round that to the nearest hundred. So we have 2 that's in the hundred spot. Immediately to the right of that is a 5. Well, remember, 5 or higher. We start with 5 and end higher. We round up. If it's 4 or lower, we round down. So 250 will round to approximately 300. Alright. I think we'll do one more. This time we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. Round to the nearest 1,000. Well, we have let's say we got, we'll do 1987. That's the year I was born. 1987. So, rounding to the nearest 1,000, you locate your thousands place, which is 1. You focus on the digit immediately to the right of that, which is a 9. You don't care about the 8 and 7. Your tens and ones place are irrelevant when you're rounding to the nearest 1,000. It's about, when you round to the nearest 1,000, you fixate on the thousands place and then the place immediately to the right of it, which would be the hundreds place. Following the rules of 5 and higher in the hundreds place, we would round to approximately 2,000. Alright, you know I got to get ugly with an example here. How about 15,134? So, we actually have a 10,000s place. That's irrelevant. We don't care about the 10,000s place. We locate our thousands place, which is 5. That'll matter. And what is in the place next to it, the hundredths place, is a 1. Remember, if it's 4 or lower, we round down. So 15,134 rounds to approximately 15,000. Okay. Now, let's talk about some real-world applications of this. Why would you want to estimate and round? Because sometimes you don't need an exact answer. Sometimes you want an estimate. If you call a roofing company for a new roof, you're going to get an estimate. If you call an insurance company for an insurance quote, they're going to give you an estimate. They're probably not giving you the exact because there's taxes, there's other fees. So rounding can also take into effect for those. So, let's say I want a new car. I'd like to get a new car. Right? The car itself, let's see. By itself, I'm going to be generous and say $350 a month. $350 per month. Now let's not do per month. Let's do the, you know what? We'll do the total price of the car. I'll make up a number. Let's say $19,000 by itself. It's $18,897. Right? Let's see. You want also power windows with it. You want power windows with that car. Well, that's going to add another $574. You want surround sound. You want a surround sound stereo. That's going to be another $234. I'm just making this up, but these probably aren't off the mark too much, especially in this economy. You want a spoiler on the back. Would you like a spoiler on the back of the car? Well, that's going to run you another $136. And then you have I think that's good enough. We could go on and on with modifications. But the point is, you're probably, with this number here, you're going to round to the nearest thousand, right? You're not going to sit here and add all these up. If you want to figure out the cost, you're probably going to do something like $19,000. You're going to say the car is about $19,000 by itself. You want to get the power windows, you're going to round that to 600. You'd round that to the nearest 100. You want the surround sound, 234 rounds to 200. And a spoiler, well, that's going to round to another 100. What's that going to equal? So you can do the 19,000 plus 600 is 19,600 plus 200 is 19,800 plus 100 is $19,900, or approximately $20,000. You can round to the nearest 10,000 by the time you're done. By the time you add tax, title, fees, all those type of things, you're probably looking at closer to $20,000 if you want to get everything this offers. So that's basically it for estimating. So I will see you on the next lesson, which we will discuss inequalities. Thank you.